And this is another one I had to do for my writing group, and it was to talk about a year to remember. So I wrote about 2020, and as the world shut down with COVID, we shut down here. 2020, it was a year to remember, one I'd sometimes prefer to forget, but it remains in my mind as a year before and after. We had a big move to Mulgreta, a town I'd known from childhood, for I'd lived on a farm 12 miles out of town. The move was enormous, packing up all we owned, right down to the contents of the shed where magic had always been made by my fella, and of course all my pot plants filled with gardening treasures. They all had to come to make our new house a home. We moved the week before the world shut down. COVID had struck. Locked down as we moved into the door. Plenty of time to unpack, for we could do nothing at all except the supermarket and not much more. But it was a solitary time, so alone. No welcoming visitors, just me and him and the dog. Then Anzac Day occurred in our little street, as it did throughout Australia, and before the dawn had come, the twilight of the morning, along the street lights from candles appeared. Neighbours we hadn't met before, shadows in the light. We stood there quietly, lost in thought, and in the distance we heard the last post. It echoed through the silent streets, a sound so achingly familiar as we remembered the sacrifice of all who had fought in the wars. Although I'd lived close to here in my childhood, when lockdown finished and life became more normal, I had some lessons I'd rather forget, as I learnt who were true friends, those who were not. For people I'd once known had moved on and had different lives, ones where I didn't fit. No cups of tea with old friends, just silence and no welcoming telephone calls, no rings at the door, no old friends popping in, just us. It's a lonely place in a new town when you haven't the friends you once had. Neighbours were great, and thank goodness for them, as still I am grateful for them today. And bit by bit we began to find our place, walking around in the parks with our dog. We'd meet other dog people who became our friends. I'd walk beside the river here, find solace and peace in my heart. Gradually this year improved somewhat, and this place has now become home. So 2020 was a year of great change for us all. And 6 years later, we've settled into our town. It really is our home and right where we belong. Yeah, it was a tough year, that year. And I'm glad we're here, but it was tough. Very hard to move when you're old. It really is. So easy when you've got children and you share occupations with them.